Hey everyone, welcome to Steph Style. I am Stephanie and I am an eBay reseller and I have been part-time for the past 20 plus years and I still love it as much now or more than I ever did. And so, technology makes it much easier to do things than it was to sell on eBay 20 years ago. So today hopefully later today I'm doing an unboxing of a DIY designer box because it's supposed to be delivered today. By the way, I have 6 boxes en route to me right now. Some designer, some fun boxes, but wow. And oh no, one fun box for designer, and I believe the other one is a name brand handbag box. So it's just taken a little while to get them. So anyway, meanwhile, I wanted to go over the things that have sold on eBay. And we have a good variety this week, actually, and we have some kind of good stories here too. So let's get to it. Let's get right to it. And the first thing that sold is these Spanx brand faux leather leggings in a size 3X, and they sold for $26. They sold within just a couple of weeks. If you ever find Spanx faux leather leggings out thrifting or wherever, be sure to have a look at those and do a little research on them. These were black leather-like leggings, and crazy enough, when you put them on, they actually do look like leather. They're really cool looking. And they had a white stripe down each side of the legs. Spanx is a great brand name and always sells really well. They are constantly coming up with new and innovative products for women. And yeah, so I got those at TJ Maxx. It only took them a couple of weeks to sell. I knew that it would. One thing I wanted to make of note, if you ever find an item that you think is going to sell well and you can get more than one of it, it's smart to do so, because I got 4 pairs of these. I believe I've already sold 2, and the other 2 I have watchers on them, so they'll go soon as well. And later in this, you'll see I sold a different pair in a different size. So number 2 is a Ralph Lauren pair of men's Chino pants. I got these from TJ Maxx on their final clearance event, and it only took probably about 3 weeks for these to sell. Ralph Lauren men's Chino pants are just, they are just a staple item. If you can find them, well, firstly, these were brand new because I got them on clearance at TJ Maxx, but if you can find them out thrifting or wherever, they will almost always sell, especially in a larger size like these. The larger sizes really just sell. And so make sure you have a look if you find these out there. Ralph Lauren's been around forever. It's a classic brand name. Moving on to number 3 is this pair of Chloe blue scallop flats. They were the really soft suede. They had quite a bit of wear to the bottom side of the shoe, to the sole of the shoe. But I got these in a DIY designer box. I had never really sold Chloe before, and I thought they would go for more than this, but they sold for $29. They took about 2 months to sell. They were a little bit of a smaller size. That could be why. Sales start to pick up, for me at least, I've noticed, at around a size 7 and up. But below a 7, they start to kind of dwindle away. Not that many people, I guess, have that small of feet. I can only surmise that. But anyway, they did sell $29. I did okay on those. Moving on to number 4, Johnny Was. I sold a straw hat with embroidery on it. I got it on clearance at TJ Maxx. Johnny Was. If you ever see that brand name, pick that brand. You don't even have to do the research, honestly. Just if it's not too expensive, buy it and sell it for sure. That brand name is so hot. It's anything. Usually it's clothing in kind of a boho, funky, colorful vibe that they have. Johnny Was. You can find that store in higher end malls, in boutique type areas where you find other expensive stores. This hat retailed for a lot more new, but I got it at TJ Maxx. It sold in about 8 weeks. But if you ever get anything from that brand name, it will sell. It's just a matter of for how much. So if you go to a thrift store and they want $80 for it, probably it's a no. But this straw hat, it didn't take that long to sell. The only thing with selling hats, by the way, is that you have to make sure you have a box big enough that the hat's not going to get squashed. You don't want to put a straw hat into squash it up and put it into it. You definitely don't want a bag. You want a box to put that in. And then something to keep it stable so it doesn't get squashed while it's being being shipped. So that is Johnny Was. Moving on to number 5 is this Coach watch. This took many, I don't know, 3 or 4 months to sell. This Coach watch did. I got it at a thrift store. I paid $25 for it. I had it for sale for a really long time. You know, the hard part was you just never know. This wasn't the most high-end Coach watch, you know, but it was a nice one, and I put a brand new battery in it. So kind of a bummer, but eventually it was out there long enough. Someone offered me $18 and I took it, and yeah, that's okay. I mean, I lost, like, you know, selling on eBay is you win some and you lose some. Mostly, if you're mostly winning, you're doing well. So anyway, so that was okay. Hopefully someone's very happy with the watch. Number 6 is this pair of Christian Louboutin flats. I so wished that these had been my size because they were so gorgeous. They were just a really beautiful. They did have some wear to the sole and a little bit of wear outside of that, but they still had a lot of life left in them. And but they were too big for me, so bummer. It took me 2 to 3 months to sell these shoes, and like I said, DIY designer boxes where I got them. And a 91-year-old woman bought them from me and sent me a little note and said, you know, I usually wear heels, but my feet can't handle it anymore. I hope that I'm 91 and you know, and I can say that I won't be because I've had knee surgery, so probably not. But wow. So she said she needed a pair of flats instead of wearing heels, so good for her. By the way, before I go on to number 7, I just wanted to point out this absolutely wonderful shirt that I got from my friend out here, who is another creator on YouTube. Her name is Pat Garza, and I will link her a link to her store in my bio. I got this. She had thrifted it, and I saw it, and I said I have to have that shirt. It's absolutely my favorite shirt now. I love this shirt. It's Free People brand, and I just love it. So there we go. Moving on to number 7 is this Petite Bateau pink wool coat. It's a girl's wool coat. I don't typically sell children's clothing or girls' clothing. I don't typically, but if I find something that's just too good to pass up, I will. And this coat was one of those times. I got this at a thrift store. It was brand new with tags. It was from a closeout of an online store that had been closing out. And I got $35 for it. It took 2 to 3 months to sell, which wasn't too bad. I did hope to get more for it, but I only paid $7 for this coat, and I sold it for $35, so I did pretty well on that. It was a gorgeous coat. If there was any little girl in my life that it could have fit, I would have got it for her. So, but hopefully they're happy with their coat. Number 8 is this Kelvin Klein khaki rain jacket. Got that at a TJ Maxx yellow tag clearance event. Sold it for $33. It only took about a month to sell. It was a really beautiful jacket. It was brand new with tags, and it was only $33. So yeah, Kelvin Klein. I don't sell a lot of Kelvin Klein. It's not a brand that I tend to sell a lot of. I mean, when I've tried to sell it, it's been okay, but selling something new with tags is just such a no-brainer, especially for what I paid for it. So I did pretty well on that one. Number 9 is, well, I already talked about Spanx leggings, but number 9 is another pair of Spanx faux leather leggings, just exactly like my number 1 item that I had talked about, but in a size small. So I also got, I believe, 3 pair of the size small. I still have a couple pairs left, and they'll go soon. Spanx faux leather leggings, if you put them at a pretty decent deal, they will sell fast. So these sold for $39, and they just took a week to sell. And as I said, I still have some left to sell, but Spanx faux leather leggings they come out with different kind of types and kinds of them, but over the years, I've noticed they are still selling after several years of being popular for the first time. So they look amazing, by the way, when you put them on. All right, number 10 is this beautiful Celine large leather tote. It was an absolutely gorgeous tote. It did have some wear to the leather. The leather looked a little bit, I don't know if that maybe it was supposed to be how it looked, but it did have a little wear to it, in other words. But it took about 8 weeks to sell, and it sold for $99. I did get that in one of the DIY designer box, and I had never sold a Celine bag before. I probably was asking too much for it at the start because of, you know, the wear that it had, but I was really happy getting $99 for that bag. So, yeah, it was a gorgeous bag. I can't use a bag that big, or I thought about keeping it, but, anyway, which brings me to number 11, which is this beautiful Gucci Icon horse bit tote bag. The outside of this bag was pretty nice. It was in pretty good condition. The inside had some pretty big ink stains, which I did get probably 60 to 70% of the ink stains out with some OxyClean. But it was absolutely beautiful. This bag was just beautiful. Even used in better condition than this, they sell for $400 or $500. This one though did have some wear to it that, you know, of course I put it in the listing. So it did take 2 to 3 months to sell. I got that in a DIY designer box. I did actually try and use it myself, but it was way too big for me. So it sold for $119. I was pretty happy with that. I originally thought I would get more, but as I'm, you know, getting more used to selling designer bags, it becomes apparent that sometimes if there's damage, it just doesn't sell for as much. So moving on to number 12 and 13 is not the money I made not the item I made the most money on, but it's my favorite item that I sold for the last couple of weeks. And it is I sold 2 of the same item. I bought 5 of these in various sizes. It's a new with tags Tulea lame silver lame pleated A-line skirt. Now, let me tell you why it's my favorite item. First of all, I paid $1 each for these on yellow tag clearance at TJ Maxx. I paid $1 each, and I just sold 2 of them for $24.99 each plus shipping. Took about 3 weeks to sell, but I knew these would sell, and here's how I knew. There are certain keywords that when people go to, you know, some people are just searching for a skirt or this or that, but there are certain words that people can type in that if you put them in your listing, it makes it much more likely you're going to sell it. And this has a lot of those keywords. So it's a silver skirt. There's not a lot of silver skirts out there. It's lame. There's not a lot of lame skirts out there, even though we are kind of bringing the 80s back. That's a whole nother, you know, video for another day. But silver lame, it's a pleated skirt. So if someone typed in pleated, it's also not something you see that often. And it's an A-line skirt, which is a pretty often word that you hear. But all those together equal up to something that is just really specific. And people want lame skirts. People want pleated skirts. People want silver skirts. And that all comes with it. And plus, I had it in size large, medium, and extra large. So I got him at TJ Maxx, like I said, on clearance. Another reason I think these sold so well is A, they were new, and then B, this is a skirt somebody would wear, a dancer would wear. So if it's somebody taking dance lessons or just likes to be in dance competitions, the skirt would be perfect for a dancer. And so I think that's why they both sold so well. And I still have, let's see, I think I have 4 of these skirts left. And they'll sell. Just wait and see. They'll sell. So that is my last couple weeks. I wanted to say one more thing about something else that had sold. And that is, I have this Gucci necklace right here that sold in the last couple weeks. A couple weeks ago it sold. The minute that it sold, I regretted selling it. But as a seller, you know, of course, I said I made the sale. I'm not going to take it back at that point. So I sent this necklace out to the person who bought it. And it's a Gucci sterling silver necklace. And, you know, I did okay on it and everything, but I didn't really want to sell it. You know, sometimes you kind of want to keep something and you don't, or you do. But this one, I actually really regretted selling. I almost think I willed it to come back to me because a couple of days after she received the item, she said it was too long for her and she asked to do a return. And I, of course, yes, I do accept returns. I didn't even have to respond to her. If you accept returns on eBay, they automatically accept it for you on your behalf. So all you have to do is make sure you get it back and check the condition of it. Which I did. But anyway, here's why I love this and why I regretted it. This is a Gucci double G and it's in a heart shape. GG are my husband's initials. And so it's in the heart shape and it's my husband's initials and it makes it extra special. Plus it's so beautiful and it's just so shiny and nice, and I just love it. So that's my little story of the day. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching what sold on eBay, and it gives you some ideas of things to sell as well. And thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.